Hi everyone. Look, my name's Andy. I know a lot of you through Happiness Co. I know some of you through other things as well. I've been involved with Happiness Co. for a couple of years now, helping with education and a bit of advisory around that. But also, I've been a professional dad for probably for 9 years now since my first child. So not only am I a teacher and work in education, I'm also a father of three, and there's a few things few values that I build my life and my parenting around that I don't really compromise on. And look, my children at the moment are a little bit. They're very well measured, and they are happy little bunnies. So look, I must be doing something right. Look, a little bit about myself. So my name's Andy. I've been in Australia now for 16 years, and I come across from the UK, as you can probably tell from my accent. And I was a teacher in the UK. I came over here, ran a small business for working with 18-month to 7-year-old children called Jungle Sports. So I might have some people on here I know who were involved with Jungle Sports. So I ran that for about 10 years. So I've had a lot of experience working with young children and also parents as well. So something we built Jungle Sports on was working with the child, but also how parents can speak to the children, because it's really important. How do they interact and how do they speak to the children? So that's something which I did for 10 years, and I learned a lot from the first day of doing that through to when I left. It was every day was trying something different and trying to just develop new ideas every single day on how to engage children and how to engage the parents. A lot of the time, the parents, they want to engage. You want to do as much as you can with with your children. You see other parents doing this and that with their children. Why can't I do that? With my children. And for me, it was on a very simple level. How do you engage those children, your own children? So look, I did that for 18 years. Sorry, for 10 years, and then I've been working in and around education for the past few years as well. So look, I've got three children. Poppy's 9, Daisy is 6, almost 7, and then Henry is 5. So and they are pretty cool. Equally different. So totally different kids, but equally awesome. And there's a few. I've got a fly flipping around my face. So there's a few things that I do with them, and the way that we sort of structure our life and our world and what we do that is really important. My childhood, I grew up in England. I grew up on the edge of the New Forest in the south of England, and I was very fortunate in being able to get outside. So I was one of these kids that was outside playing football. Wasn't interested in girls. Girls were rubbish. So just concentrated on playing sport and getting outside, riding a bike. And those are some of the things that I wanted for my kids. I want my kids to be outside, a lot more. So look, that was certainly one thing which is really important. I'll base a bit of what I'm going to be talking about today on. I must be doing something right, because obviously Happiness Co. have approached me to do this, and also I do get a number of parents asking for my advice on what to do. So it would be great for to maybe share a few things that I do. Personally, I think I'm a very average person, an average dad, but I think other people may see different. So look, we'll go with it. What I want, I'm going to chuck out a question to you guys. What do you think, based on research and studies, and I'm going to base something on a Harvard study that was done with 70,000 people, what was the one thing that kids remembered and kids wanted from their parents? What's the one thing? So a bit of interaction. I know it's not that early in the morning, so it'd be great if you can get involved and maybe put some comments in. But what's the biggest thing that kids wanted from parents, and how to be a parent, and the thing that they remember the most? I know there's a delay on this, so can you think of anything? So, all right. Well, I'm going to tell you that there's a Harvard study, okay, so 70,000 people in this Harvard study talking and listening to kids. Really, really important. Talking, listening to kids, actually listening to hearing what they're saying, making it clear of the ambitions for the future, being emotionally warm, okay, being emotionally warm. Yeah, love, exactly, Chelsea. Yeah, spot on. Love is certainly one of the main things that they were talking about. So being emotionally warm, showing them love all the way. Okay, teaching them, taking them on excursions. That was one of the things. Taking them on excursions, taking them out. Yeah, they don't remember a lot of things that happen around the house. They remember when you can take them out. So reading to them daily, really, really important. And then maintaining a regular bedtime routine. Yeah, kids enjoy that. Kids really love that. But the one thing that came out on top, ahead of love, but love is shown within this. Okay, is time. It's kids remember the time they spend with you. Okay, and that's what they want. They want that time. They want that undivided attention. Okay, and they remember that. They remember. Hold it. So I'm just going to write this down. Oh. So activities, not things. So I've got a few things that I'm going to be running through. So activities, not things. Kids, if you look back to your childhood, do you remember the toy you got? Do you remember that gift you got? A lot of the time, it's not. Okay, it's actually doing things with your parents that's the important thing, and as having fun and spending and devoting that time with your children. Okay, now this last few weeks has been really, really interesting to see different people sort of complaining about spending too much time with their kids, and this past couple of weeks, I haven't actually done many gratitudes on here, but they all come around the same thing. I just love spending time at home with my kids. Being a teacher, I've got school holidays, which is fortunate. But most school holidays, I'm normally doing other things as well. I've devoted all my time to looking after the kids, and it has been the best week of my life so far. We've had a great time. We've gone all sorts of different places, but we've been making memories. Okay, activities, not things. My kids have hand-me-down clothes. They don't care if they got the the best shoes, the best trainers, the best computer. It's all about doing things with your kids. So spending time, okay, that is the most important thing, and that was concluded from a very, very detailed Harvard study. Apart from love, what are the other things that you think? Oh, Adam Walbrook's joined. Hey, Adam, how you going? Morning activities. Yeah, look, morning board games. Yeah, I'm going to go into some of the things that I play and what we do with the kids. But board games. Last night we played Twister. I haven't played Twister for years, it was. I thought I was quite a good Twister player, but nah, pathetic. Kept on falling all over the place. But just spending that time. It turned off the TV, turned off the iPads, and we played Twister. It was awesome. I've got this. So we're talking about activities. Engage and praise. So engage means properly engaged in what they're doing, okay, and praising them. Properly engaged. All right. That means that you're listening, but you're actually with them. You're looking at them. You're not glancing down at your phone. You're not looking for something else to do. Oh, I've got to go and make a cup of tea in the kitchen. I've got to go and do. You're actually 100% engaged in what they're doing and what they're saying. So that, to me, is really, really important. Okay, and praise. Okay, how many times do you remember your parents saying they're proud of you? Or how many times do you remember your teacher, someone saying to you, "That's awesome, well done." You remember it. You remember it, and you learn from it, and you move on. Okay, being praising is really, really important. Now I've got a few things I'm writing down. So this one here, and Rianda touched on it a second ago. And said morning, but I don't think she meant to. Routines and repetition. Some people I say some people, like Donald Trump says some people, but people seem to think that if you have routines, kids are having to have too many rules in their life and things. Routines are really important. Kids love routines. People love routines. They're really, really important. The waking up in the morning routine. What do they do in the morning? What do you have to? Oh, look at this! I've got comments. Oh, look, hand-me-downs. Good morning. Oh, look, I didn't realise I've got these comments on the side. Oh dear. I feel like I am a novice. Robbie's on as well. I'll keep scrolling up then. I need a moderator. Give me a moderator. Morning routines. What do they do in the morning? What do they have to? What are the non-negotiables that they have to do every morning? And it gives them a sense of achievement. They do these routines. They complete things. They've completed. We can mark it off on the little chart that they've got. That we don't do all the time, but routines are really, really important. Going to bed, okay, we have a routine at 6 o'clock. No more tech, so that's no more TV, no more iPads, unless we're watching a film. So we have movie nights sometimes, and had a few more movie nights of since all this COVID stuff's been going on. It's really, really important to have those routines. So the nightly routine is going to bed. Having a bath. We brush our hair, brush our teeth. We read a book, or we play games. Okay, but we have to read a book. We've got 3 kids, so we're outnumbered. Bit of a nightmare, but because you have to go between the bedrooms. Yeah, it does take a little bit of time. All right, but the kids know that 7:30 is bedtime, and then that's it. But it's really, really important to a happy life. Then if you let it drag on, if they don't have that routine, you've got kids up 8, 9, 10 o'clock, you lose out on your time. And it's really important as a parent to have time for yourself in the evening time, even if it's just sitting and watching Netflix, even if it's not doing a great deal. You need that time to process and think for yourselves. Okay, so make sure that routine, or it's really good to have that routine that finishes 7:30. Kids are in bed, boom. You can have a bit of time to yourselves. Okay, so for me, that's really, really important. Another one, family dinners. All right, family dinners are for us every night. We have dinner. We have dinner together. We talk to each other. We find out what happened in each other's day. All right, a little bit sad. I don't know. To us, okay, it's one of these non-negotiables. Always done it. Always have done. Okay. I am a bit of a nightmare. Well, not a nightmare, but I run a few different social things, a few different businesses. I use my phone a lot. Okay, so my kids are forever shouting, "Get off your phone!" So phones nowhere near the table, or they live in your pocket, and we have our dinner on the table, and we all help. Like the kids are helping cooking at the moment, but for us, a non-negotiable is we all sit around the table and we all eat dinner together. I keep looking down at my picture, not at the camera. I do apologise. It must look a little bit weird. So something that I do, I don't know whether my wife does it as much, but something I do is the day expectations. So what I've made sure I've been doing the last few weeks is in the morning we sit down, or I say to the kids, right, we're going to do this, 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 and this today. So the kids know that there's a bit of an order. Okay, we're going to go from here to here to here to here, and then by the end of the day, we would have achieved, X amount. If we don't achieve that, and if we don't make, it's okay, it's no problem. But we'd like to sort of, knowing kids need to know what they're doing and where they're going. Okay, and don't overfill. So if you don't overpromise what you want to do during the day, and if there's anything, extra, it's a bonus. That's fantastic. Now, what have I got next here? Be consistent. Yeah, be consistent with everything you do. All right, there's no point going, shouting and screaming at your kids one time because you're in a bad mood. And you've got to be consistent with your kids. If you're consistent with your kids, they know the lines, they know what they can and can't do, where they can and can't go, what they can and can't say. For me, it's really important to be consistent. I'm a pretty happy, easygoing guy, but then there are certain things which I hold as high expectations for them, let's say, but they're not high expectations that they can't achieve. It's things like manners. Manners cost nothing. It's the things that cost nothing and the things that are just sort of simple. So, which leads me on to yeah, let's go with this one. Sorry, I've just written it down. Write it down. There you go. Good handwriting, same handwriting. Freedom with boundaries. So, people that know my kids or have seen some of my videos, or I do post on Facebook, but it's not normally about myself. I'm not. Believe it or not, I'm not a very confident person in myself and my own ability. So it's actually taken a bit for me to do this today, but it's a subject that I'm quite passionate about. So, which is why I'm going for it. I let my kids do probably a lot more than what other parents do. If you see my kids hanging on Facebook sometimes, they're hanging from goalposts or rugby posts, or they're climbing up netball posts. Well, it's normally one, it's just Daisy, she's the middle one, she's proper crazy, but she's awesome. But I want them to try things. I want them to get used to using their body, getting used to using their brain, making decisions for themselves. But they're calculated. So that's why I put freedom with boundaries. So freedom with boundaries to me means that we're going to let the kids, they can go and do a little bit more than what you probably should do. Okay, just a little bit more. But then it's calculated. You've worked out the risks for them, but you may not have to highlight them to the kids because you want them to work things out for themselves. It's really important that the kids work things out for themselves. And to me, them having having freedom, but with boundaries. Okay, you need to have rules. You need to have, kids can't just do what they want. I know that in this day and age, it's give your kids, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that kids just don't see the danger. The frontal cortex hasn't developed to 21 for a guy. So as you can probably tell on a lot of men, but it's you need to give them a few restrictions, but it's quite important for them to have that freedom. My kids all cycle around the front. Every few months they can go that little bit further. They're going out of sight. Because I'm confident that I've given them the tools and I've spoken to them enough about cycling proficiency. I speak to them, and every time I'm out with them, am I boring? I'm a teacher. I like to teach them, as we're going. So for me, every sort of interaction with my kids is an opportunity to give them a bit of knowledge that possibly they may have not had before. So that's about testing limits, okay? Freedom with boundaries. Kids need limits. Parents need limits. Parents need to let go, okay? We need to let go sometimes of our kids, but it's calculated. So that's what I mean. Right, laugh at yourself. So life skill. We need kids to be able to laugh at themselves. We need parents to be able to laugh at themselves as well, okay? To me, really, really important to be able to laugh. My wife's joined. She's watching now. Oh dear, I wonder what. So be able to laugh at yourself. It's really important that the kids laugh at each other. Don't take yourselves too seriously. Yeah? Don't take yourselves too seriously. Sorry, I've got to write that down. Just written that down. There you go. Don't take yourself too seriously. Yeah? Don't beat up on yourself. This is a really important thing. Don't take yourself too seriously. Because if you take yourself too seriously, what's going to happen to your kids? So kids model their parents. Kids model their parents. Kids do what follow, and they act and behave like their parents do. So to me, don't take yourself too seriously. Have a bit of a laugh. Okay. Don't compare yourselves to other people. I'm going to get into that in a little bit. But yeah, laugh at yourself. If you do that, then your kids will will certainly be able to do that for themselves also. Okay. So that comes to that. So model behaviour. Yeah. So model behaviour, and we all know this. We all know that the kids model the behaviour of their parents. How parents behave, okay, is how your kids will behave. It's as simple as that. Not 100%, obviously, but if you if you behave in a certain way, more than likely your kids will probably end up doing the same, similar sort of things. So model the behaviour you expect from your kids and you want from your kids. All right, and that's when you're talking to people, talking to your partner. Okay, really important that you talk to your partner in a way that you would want your children to speak to their partners. So for me, that's a really important one. It was kind of learned when our youngest daughter was 3. She started kindy at school, and on the first day I got called up in front of the teacher because apparently Poppy had said to one of the teachers, will you just effing move? So she was driving one of those little cars, yeah, and then she banged into someone, and she just, oh no, and would you get out of the way in the little car? And yeah, the teacher said that language probably isn't appropriate. Look, I took the blame for it. It's probably my wife who said it. However, I took the blame for it, but it did really highlight something. It hit home that what we say and what we do gets picked up and it gets listened to by the children. So it's really important that we model the behaviour that we would want from our children. All right, this one here. Look, I'm going to looking at the time. Okay, we're doing okay at the moment. So this one here. Boop, boop, boop. Have I spelled it right? Yeah. So empathy, empathy, empathy. All right. For me, if you can get your children, if you can have your children showing and understanding what empathy is, then and if they can show empathy towards other people in their class, other people they meet on the street, if they can show empathy to do something they see on the TV or understand how other people are feeling, and they can show that love towards other people and are confident with other people and dealing with other people's situations, to me, that's winning. They're all at primary school, NAPLAN, and I'm a teacher myself. I'm also on the board of a school, and for me, NAPLAN and all these tests that they do at primary school, the most important thing for my kids and my family, yeah, is that they come out, they've made friends, they know how to get on with people, they can show empathy for others, all right, and then everything else will fall into place. I'm sure of it. My kids, me and my wife, we read their reports at the end of the year. We're not really fussed about the grades. We actually know that the grades will be good because they're nice kids and they work hard, but that's because they want to. But all the time it says that they show empathy for others and they are well liked within their peer group. They've made lots of friends. We've got both our daughters get sat next to boys who may need a little bit of help, but the teacher knows that they like to give up. Yeah, so it's nice to know that our kids are growing up like that, and to me it's really important. Since we've gone to IGA, Woolies, any shop whatsoever, non-negotiable in my household is when they leave and they see and then we've paid our money, we're walking out. We say they have to say thank you. And they have to say goodbye to the cashier. To me, simple, really, really important. It's a really, really simple thing for them to do. Sometimes the cashiers go, "Oh, okay, thank you." They're not used to kids saying thank you. To me, it gets them interacting with other people, and it's quite an important thing. So they always say thank you. They always say hello to people. So saying hello is a really important thing. It really helps with other people, speaking to other people, being confident in speaking to other people. Finding out how someone else's day is, how they can help someone else's day. These are things that I talk to my kids about, and I think that it's really, really important. My wife went to drop the kids off at the beginning of the school year, dropped one of the kids off to one of the classes, and our little boy Henry was there as well, and then the teacher said, "Oh, you must be Henry." Okay, and then my wife went and dropped the other daughter off, and then the other teacher, "Oh, you must be Henry." And then everyone my wife's going, how does everyone know Henry? He goes, well, Henry, everyone knows Henry. He comes up to all the teachers and says hello, and he remembers their names, and he says hello to them. He's 5, by the way. And my wife's like, oh, thank God for that. I thought it was because he was Henry. He's a bit of a cheeky bugger. But look, it was a nice thing to hear. Like, he's going up to all the teachers, he's saying hello, and he remembers their name, and he wants to talk to them. So to me, it's a really important thing to do. So that's manners. Open thank you cards. Thank you cards showing thanks and gratitude. Yeah. When was the last time you got a thank you card for giving a birthday present? So we make sure that the kids write thank you cards for birthdays. Really important. Something we've always done. Now, there's no rule book for parenting. There's certainly no rule book. You learn as you learn as you go. But there are certainly a few things here which hopefully will help you. Now, take it or leave it, I've called this. Little play on words. Take it or leave it. Now, it's proving to be one of the toughest things. They need to be tech savvy. They need to be using iPads. They need to be using computers in this technological age. Easy for me to say. So, how do you balance it? Yeah, it's how do you balance it? It's these non-negotiables. It's these not non-negotiables. It's these things turning off tech at a certain time. My kids, they don't have technology in the car. Yeah, so there's no. There you go. Easy reach for one of the kids' iPads. So there's no technology. There's no iPads in the car. I want to look out the window. Look out the window. My daughter, eldest daughter, she can tell you everywhere in Perth. She knows who lives down what road, what the road's called, where she's going, and what she's doing. She's asking questions about here, there, and everywhere. My other two, do the same. They're always looking, but then they're also interacting with each other. Yeah, they're lucky there's 3 of them. Yeah, so they can talk to each other. But it's really important for me, and it was when I was younger. I always knew where I was going. I knew, So no technology in the car. No need. We have done once on a big trip down south. They used it for about an hour, fell asleep for the rest of it. So, but yeah, just driving around, no technology. There's no need for it. It's one of those times that there's no need. So why extra opportunity to use technology? So take it or leave it. So if you want to leave it, then let's think of some of the activities that you can do. Photo competition. Yeah, give them a camera. Give them a little disposable camera. They've got to take the best photo, or they've got to go around. They've got to take photos of things. That's a pretty cool one. Board games. Yeah, board games are snakes and ladders. Simple. Whew. Simple. Dobble. Great board game. Twister. Anyway, there's heaps of board games, but they're really good to do as a family. But then you teach them, and then the kids can play them as well. Ride a bike. So I've been taking the kids out for bike rides, which has been great fun. Great fun for me, bit of exercise, but great fun for kids. We've been going on adventures. We've been stopping off. We've been looking at this and that. My wife's been cooking with them. So my daughter's been cooking. She cooked some noodles with my wife last night and taking some ownership over that, which is great. Here's something. I haven't written this one down. So say yes day. Have a say yes day. How many times do we say? How many times do we say no a day to a child? Julian will probably know because he's got loads of stats like this. But how many times a day do we say no? It's quite a few. So have a day, and don't tell the kids you're going to do this, but say yes to everything. Can I do this? Yeah. Can I eat this? Yeah. Can I do this? Yeah. Do it. Why not? Go out of the comfort zone. Yeah, it's all right. It might be going against some of but what you'll find is that kids go to they still do the non-negotiables or the things that you have instilled in them. They'll still do. Yeah, you'll be surprised. But have a say yes day. The kids can do it. Yeah, go on adventures, beach, nature, lead by example. Now, I probably should have mentioned it when I was back on this one here, but just whatever. Easy decision, hard life. Hard decision, easy life. So Julian talks about this a lot, I know. So if your children are and are probably not doing what you're wanting them to do, or something's not safe, but they want to continue doing it, sometimes it's easy just to go on off and go, yeah, don't worry, yeah, carry on watching that, don't worry, and then you trying to negotiate. We've all done it. Don't worry. I'm not saying look, we've definitely all done it, and I don't want this today to come across as if I'm doing all these things perfectly, because I know my wife's watching and I know that we don't do it, but there are some things that we probably like to do a bit better. So is some of those easy decisions of doing so. If they get in their own way the whole time, if they're getting their own way the whole time, then they're not going to learn anything from it. Okay, and you don't have to do that in a negative way. So now, right then, play on your child's level. So how many times, as a guy, look at these broken goalkeeper hands. How many times have you, as a guy, if there's men watching this, how many times have you dressed up as a fairy, or you've had your nails painted? Okay, get down on their level and play with them. If they are playing a computer game, so if they are on their iPad, they've got some screen time, they're on their iPads, find out, and this is the important thing about tech, and I'm writing a bit of a blog at the moment on I'm not tech savvy. You need to be tech savvy. There's no excuse for not being tech savvy. Maybe 20 years ago, maybe 10 years ago, but now you need to know what your children are doing. Actually invest some time to understand what they're doing, why they're doing it, how they play these games. Okay, so when it does come and you're not doing things reactory. Is that a word? No. You actually understand what the game is, what they're doing, how they're playing. Okay, so invest a bit of time into what they're doing. Okay, so whether it is playing fairies, you be a fairy. If they're making a train track, make the train track with them. Have a bit of fun. In put yourself in that situation. So this I'm moving on pretty quickly, but because I haven't got much time. So look, it's been talked about by other people on the Happiness Aid Live, so I'm not really going to dwell too much on it. And it's the easiest thing to do is don't compare. Okay, so comparison, with social media, with the Instagrams, I've seen these perfect lives, and sometimes if I post that we've gone on this big bike ride, you didn't see that when we got home there was one of the kids had a big meltdown, or that so you see what you put out there, what people want you to see, and they think you got this perfect life. And I can guarantee you that our kids have some big meltdowns as well. On the whole, 95% of the time they're awesome, but it's don't compare yourself to other people. Live your life how you want to live, but then also live your life how you would want your children to see you living your life. Okay, so if you're constantly being negative thinking, negatively or being upset, your kids feed off that, and they see that. So to me, that's really really important. Just make them the center of your world. Children see, children do. And I've said it a couple of times already today. That children see, children do. Look, I've got a little example here. It says, a mother tells a cashier at a restaurant that her 12-year-old son is only 11, so she can get a discount on a buffet. Her son learns it's okay to lie sometimes to get what you want. Children say, children do. Are there any things that sorry if this has been me talking at you and not asking enough questions. I do apologise about that. So if you want to chuck up anything that you do with your kids that's worked really well, or do you have any sort of things that you do every day with your kids, or something that you try to instill into them that you feel that would be great to share with the group? then please do put that in the comment box. It'd be great. It'd be great to hear what you put there. So it's hard because some of the parents, I know some awesome people and awesome parents who we go, wow, I wish we could be like that. We don't see anything on they don't shout about it, they don't put it on the Facebooks, they don't put it on the Instagrams. So a lot of the time I do it for my family back home, and that's all I do it for. But yeah, you don't need to shout about it. Just do it. Your kids won't remember that. They'll remember you spending that time. Now this one here, I'm only on the last couple now. Speak growth mindset. Probably get talked about quite a bit. So speaking growth mindset. What's some of the things? Join in with me, please, if you're watching at home. What are some of the things that you or how you speak to your kids? What's important? Or what are some of the important things that you say to your kids that come under this under growth mindset? Chuck it in there. So look, for me, my kids, or I see other children with their friends or whatever, who avoid challenges, who don't want to be challenged. Okay, I try and get my kids to embrace the challenge, the new challenge, work out ways of doing it. If they say they can't, I don't say to them, there's no such word as can't. What I do try and say to them, I try and get them to work out and figure out and break things down so they can do something. Yeah, so a lot of the time it is really important that the kids do have that opportunity to work things out. They need to be able to, if there's an obstacle in front of them, and they can't go through it, how do they get around it? How do they work out how to do it? And you can help them do that. So you can ask them questions. You can put them for them to do it. The biggest thing that I see as a teacher and as a parent is parents doing everything for their kids. So if you are doing things for your kids all the time, if you're solving all their problems for them, it's going to be so much harder for them in later life. Do not solve their problems for them. Yeah, if one of my daughters is sitting on the sofa, she goes, "Can you get me a water?" I can get her a water. Of course I can get her a water. Some days on my yes day, I'll get her a water. But then she's very capable of getting herself her own water. Yeah. Can you peel me a banana? No, I can't peel you a banana. You can peel the banana yourself. Simple things, but there are lots of things that are being done by parents that don't need to be. We don't need to. And then you'll build stronger kids by letting them work things out and finding their own way of doing things, and you can guide them. You can along. Focus on the solutions rather than problems. Yeah. Don't have many problems in this house, or I don't see many problems. We pretty much look at the end game, the end goal, and then how are we going to get there? And then sitting kids down and actually speaking them, talking them through, not criticism, but they need to hear that they might not have done something correctly, but how are we going to how are we going to learn from it? That my kids get bored of me saying that every day is a school day, but every day is a school day, and even though you're at home, Rachel, great point. Yeah, goal setting. So set some goals and dreams. So my number one daughter, she wants to be a teacher. Everyone, you can see that straight away. My second girl, she wants to be a vet. She's still very young, but hey, let's embrace that. My little boy, who knows? I think he wants to be Iron Man or something, or an octonaut. But set them some goals, whether they're daily goals. At the end of the day, we'll achieve this, or at the end of the week, or at the end of the school holidays. At the end of school holidays, have you finished that David Walliams book? Just a little thing, but goal setting, really good. Be flexible. Right then, as a parent, be flexible. Be flexible to change. Be flexible to things that are happening in your life, things that are happening to your kids' life. If they see you flipping out because things are changing, then they're going to get anxious as well. And especially in this last couple of months, it's been really tricky for kids to understand the emotions and the complexities of why things are happening the way they are. So it's really important to be flexible. Just go with it. Yeah, try and be consistent. That's what we said right at the beginning. Being consistent. Now, yeah, avoid showing frustration over blame. Okay, now, last thing, you. Okay, as a parent, as a partner, you and your partner, or if you're on your own as a parent, you need to look after you. You need to take a bit of time for you. So for me, I used to play football Tuesday, Thursday. I used to work at football as well during the night, in the evening times, and my life was surrounded by football, soccer, football, proper football, and to which I loved and I enjoyed, and I was doing all this for other people. But then as soon as kids came along, they're the most important people in my life, and not the other people. So I shifted my what I was doing. The last couple of years, I've been playing golf again. So golf, but I play golf every other week, and it's just 9 holes in the afternoon. I do thank my darling wife for letting me go and do that. But it's great. It's great. 2 hours out of the house. Make sure your partners get time to take time out of the house, or just time on their own. So concentrate and focus on you to resync. Right, last thing. I'm going to go back to what I said right at the start. Is anyone here who is at the start? I'm not sure. If anyone was here, that was the most important thing that kids want from parents, and they remember most as part of their family. Or what did you remember from your childhood? Or the best thing that a parent can give a child? What is it? Can anyone remember? Is anyone listening? This is the last bit of information. What do you think? Can you remember? Spend time, quality time. Yeah, so it was not just time, it's quality time. Make sure you spend quality time with your kids. Yeah, so whether it's just going for a walk, okay. Don't sit at the park or go to the park with and then constantly look on your phone. If your kids are talking to you, put your phone away. Yeah, it's difficult. I know. It's it's the new addiction. But spend quality time with your kids and plan things around them. They're the most important things as they grow. Hopefully what I've said has given you some food for thought. It's just a few things that I do. There's probably another 20 different things that we implement within our lives in our little household. But look, we like to think we're a fairly happy household. I've got some kids who are could be more proud of my children. They are equally different, and they are. We've got much love. We've got the dog as well, and look, there's so many different things that I could probably have gone through again. So look, I might do another one if you want at some point. And it's not me trying to tell you what to do. It's just telling you what I do. And look, I'm not an expert. I'm not a psychologist in any way whatsoever. I've just had a bit of experience working with kids and youngsters. So if there's any other questions, or if anyone has any questions for me whatsoever, then please put them in. I'll stick around for a moment or two before I sign off. But thanks for having me come into your lives for whether it's a short amount of time or for the whole time. It's been great. Thank you very much. And this has kept my tea hot for the whole time, which is awesome. Great advice. I'm on a teacher work. Yeah. So teaching, working from home is proving tricky in a way, because my because my wife is having to work from home. Obviously, I'm here at the moment as well, so I'm taking, and we're having a great time. We're having a great time coming back. We've had a few ice creams. That's for sure for me. So thanks, Michelle. Thanks for watching. Thanks, Rachel. Thanks, Priya. And that I'm going to go now. But peace and love, and just remember, peace and love. Take care, guys. See ya.